Thank you very much. Has anybody heard of Travelzoo? Yeah, show hands. Good, any subscribers? Okay, everybody else please sign up later. It's free, it's great, 27 million people use it. So my 5 minutes here. So I'm the CEO of this public company and I got the job. That's my office in the corner up at Central Park, right up in that corner. And, someone from Haas came along and says, wow, Chris, it's great. Like, you've got this big steering wheel and you zoom out as a CEO, right? You're always looking at the world from 60,000 feet. Well, no, I don't. I zoom in all the time. I have to zoom in. And when I did become the CEO 4 years ago, I left a European business that I started, which I loved, and the sales started going sideways almost immediately. I called the guy up who was running Europe, and I said, what's going on? He said, it's competition. Competition's killing us. Groupon's coming into the market. So that's funny, because that's not happening in Japan, that's not happening in the US, it's not happening in Canada. I don't think it's competition. So why don't you send me the list of accounts and see who advertised last year? And he sent me this list of accounts, and he showed me that they just weren't advertising. So I was sitting in New York, and I started calling Manchester, England, Peterborough, England, to Thomas Cook, and said, hey, why aren't you advertising? And you know what the response was? It was, well, no one called us. No one called us, because everybody had zoomed right out. And I actually did manage to close the sale right there from New York into Peterborough, and then I stuffed it in his face. Okay. What happens if you don't believe in fairies? What happens to the fairies? Exactly, they die. And it's the same with a very young business. You have to believe in fairies. You've got to get everyone else to believe as well. So the story goes like this. We're in Germany. Germans are generally pessimistic people. Right? I mean, it really is. There's a whole study, the German pessimists, the French optimists, right? I was born in Germany, so I get to say this. So I'm in Germany. We're launching the Travelzoo Top 20. A lot of people know what that is. It's an email that we send out with travel deals. And typically, our deals have a telephone number in that you would call to book the deal. And we send those calls into enormous call centers. And these call centers generally would get maybe 1,000 calls a day. We would send maybe 100 calls. Well, if you're sending 100 calls into a call center that gets 1,000 calls, you don't really feel it. And so the advertisers would tell us, it's not working. But Travelzoo doesn't work in Germany. I said, no, it's working. And then everyone in the organization started to think, oh, it's not working, because the advertisers are saying it's not working. So I said, okay, you know what? I don't believe it. Change that telephone number right now in that ad to your telephone number at your desk. And this is the German publisher. So the phone rings. I say, hello, I'd like to book the vacation, please. And she's like, oh my God, the phone rang. It's like, of course it bloody well rang. It's working. So we did this all around the world. And in fact, we're in France. We were told in France, not only were our employees and advertisers not really believing it, one guy said at a conference, it doesn't work. So the country manager in France changed the telephone number to the guy's cell phone. He's walking down the Champs-Élysées like, hello, I'd like to book a vacation, please. So anyway, you just got to get people to believe. Next thing, I didn't learn this in business school. I really do believe it's wise to invest in beer-drinking countries. This is my analysis. So we are in 11 countries around the world. I mean, China is a great market for us as well. We operate that under license. They drink spirits. But do not invest in countries generally that drink wine. Go and enjoy them, vacation there, but don't invest there. I tell you two little stories here. I just looked at the redundancy costs. So when you're a business, you go through your startup phase, you've got really great startup people, and you kind of need to bring in managers over time. Our redundancy costs, that's laying people off in France, are 3 times greater than the UK. It takes 4 months in France to go through the process. It takes 1 week in the UK. And in the United States, well, it's very quick as well. So in general, I would invest in beer-drinking countries. Okay. Now, the next thing I didn't learn really in business school, I really learned this from the founder of Travelzoo, Ralph. We'd always say, I mean, he's German, actually, so he wouldn't say awesome, but in effect, the translation was, what does awesome look like? This is our office in Miami. And that guy's, he does collections. That's where he sits. And we do that all over the world. That really was my office in the corner of Central Park. I can see all of Central Park. In Los Angeles, I can see the Hollywood sign. But all over the world, we really believe in giving a phenomenal working environment. And one of our constituents, the employee, has an awesome experience, right, when working with us. This is Jim. He's one of our subscribers. He's really enjoying life. He books a ton of deals. He lives in Northern California. He's a retired superintendent from the school district. And we want the deals for Jim to always be awesome. We talk about Jim all the time. And we get awesome ratings. So these are the reviews that people put onto the deals. So when you buy a deal from us, you fill out a review afterwards. So we're always monitoring this score to see how we're doing. And we need to keep that above 90%. Anything below 90% starts to be a problem, right? The last thing, the fifth thing about business school, I didn't learn at business school. I know we talk about it, but just getting out and doing something with your time. I think it was John F. Kennedy who said, from those to whom much is given, much is expected, right? It's very easy just to get sucked right into the business of selling advertising or publishing deals. So I had a passion for Africa, and that was just my personal thing that I did, and I ran a few runs and raised some money for these kids in Malawi. And so what we did is we went ahead and built this app. It's called Travelzoo's Map the World. It's an iPad app. Your kids can all play with it. It's free. We don't charge for it, but you can make a donation for $2 when you go into the app, and we send that money to the kids. We're also taking all of our computer equipment. We're not a big company. We don't have a lot of money. We're taking all of the computer equipment that we have, and we're taking it over to Africa actually this week, and we're building a classroom for these kids with all that equipment. We've got IT guys. We've got people who just would love to do it. And it's amazing what's happened in the organization, just getting everyone super passionate about that one cause. So just don't be afraid of doing that, is what I would say. Bring in your little personal passion to the organization. So that's it. Thank you.